Well, how can we receive a picture of the
Well, we are going to have a steering committee meeting within the next few days, and we will be determining how we're going to dispense those videos, pictures, and what is available. Our intent, now I don't know anything about all this technology, but I've got some pretty good sources that know quite a bit about it and how to do it. Our intent is to some way get it out on the internet so that you can have access to it wherever you are. And we'll have to explain to you what the code and password and all that is to access it. But we've had several people that have volunteered to assist us in doing that, and we're very appreciative of that. And we want you to have the photos that were taken today available to you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Can you also try to get it put in the Legion Sunflower, so if anybody comes by the Legion, they can get the information that way?
The Legion Sunflower, now, would you explain that? Is that the book?
No, I'm asking, can you also try to get it put in the Legion Sunflower, so if anybody comes by the Legion, they can get the information that way?
The Legion Sunflower, now, would you explain that? Is that the book?
No, I'm asking, would you put that information in the Legion Sunflower, so if anybody wants to stop by a Legion, they can get that information too?
Post. Is the Legion Sunflower, is that statewide? Yeah. Well, we'd be glad to do that. Yeah. Some people have said, well, University of Kansas Press and the K-State Historical Society have got all kinds of people that have got ideas on what we might do to do that. But we just wanted to get the group together and get this accomplished, and now we've got some of these other problems. And from here on in, we're going to have to get some new leadership, so you be thinking about that. We've not got that far yet, but we will in a few minutes.
Were the men able to get mail during any of this time? And I know Art had something like a cuckoo clock shipped back, and how they did all that.
To ship, to receive mail or ship? Well, as far as, yeah, we were able to receive mail and we were able to ship mail. Or are you talking about a POW?
No.
Oh, yeah, we were already, as far as I know, everybody over there was able to receive mail and able to ship things home.
Good mail about once a month.
Yeah.
Once a month.
Yeah, it was mail call.
Was it pre-postage?
Yeah. We had email most of the time, what they call email.
All the mail was censored.
Yeah, it was all censored.
My husband went over on Queen Mary. I wonder if anybody here went on staff.
Anybody else go on to Queen Mary? Yeah, well, there's several of them.
I made sure several weeks.
We're on the Dominion Monarch. Down the 20th of December, July,
there was another question out here, right here. I'm Horace High. Can everybody hear that okay? Can you hear?
Yeah.
I'm Horace High from Ashley County, Arkansas, right down near the Louisiana line. I'm the youngest of 15 children. I had 7 brothers and 7 sisters, and I was the only one to go to service. But I answered the call to service because I felt it was my duty. And we went in, the first we went in was into the Battle of the Bulge in Belgium. And it was cold, boys. And I hadn't been used to that. But it was cold in the foxhole, it was cold outside, and we were outside all the time. I got my feet and legs frozen, my hands were frozen, and now to keep my hands straight, I make Kleenex box covers, and both hands are very flexible. I enjoyed the service, and I knew that I needed to be in the service to do the things that I should do. And I'm proud to be here. And I want you to know that I want to have another meeting so we can really get together. And I appreciate the time that you have here. Thank you. Horace High.
Use the mic, please.
I'm Horace High. H-O-R-A-C-E. Knock off the first 3 letters and I'm Ace High.
What am I supposed to talk about? Well, I was born and raised in Morris County, down by White City. I was drafted in 1944. Went to Fort McClellan, Alabama for combat infantry training. Went overseas in Thomas S.S. Berry and landed in Le Havre, France. And when I landed there, I began to realize what war was all about. It was foggy. But the fog rose as we come into that harbor. And I looked out across that landscape, and Le Havre, France was just 90% rubble. And I asked a British sailor who was in a boat there as we got up, I said, I was kind of naive at that time, you see, farm boy. I said, what happened here? And he said, the American bombers come in here 2 days after the Germans pulled out and bombed this city. And I thought, man, what am I getting into? And I went on up and we started loading on the 40 and 8 trains, boxcars, and I asked the French engineers asked, where are you guys going? And I said, we're going to the front lines. And he said, you better get there in a hurry. He said, the Germans have broken through and they're winning the war. I thought, boy, I'm really getting into it here. And we did. It was the coldest winter I've ever seen. It was bitterly cold. Somebody else has spoken about that. I was accustomed to winter. I was a farm boy, fed cattle, hogs, and I knew how to keep myself warm. The problem was, in a foxhole, you didn't get out of the foxhole on the front line. So you froze. And I still have, my feet still suffer from it today, but not as bad as some of these guys. But it was bitterly cold. I'd never seen it so cold. It was the worst blizzard in 40 years. But anyway, from there we went on tanks. We rode tanks a lot of the time, and went across to the Reagan Bridgehead. We crossed there when it was about 2 miles deep and 4 miles wide, and some of them spoken about that. And then we went on to the Elk River where we met the Russians, and then the last few weeks of the war we went toward Bavaria, Berchtesgaden, where Hitler's hideout was, and wiped out the resistance there. The Russians were 4 miles away, and the German army surrendered. It was an amazing sight to see the German army coming down the hill in tanks and planks and trucks and jeeps without their weapons, and they come right by us and surrendered. The war was over. So that was, I got selected for German guard duty at Nuremberg War Crimes Trial, and I spent about 7 months there. We had captured all these Nazi leaders, and we brought them to trial there in Nuremberg. I come home in 1946, went to K-State on the GI Bill, went to work at Kansas Farm Bureau, got 3 kids, 2 of them's here today, and graduated K-State, went to work at Farm Bureau.
My name is Wallace Jeffrey. I was drafted out of St. George. I'm a Manhattan kid. I've lived here since 1931. So I had just got married before I was drafted, and I had a little boy, 3 weeks old, when I had to leave. And before I went overseas, I came home on a furlough, and my wife conceived again, and I had a little girl when I was over in England. Now my outfit was a fighter control outfit. I went to 3 radio schools to learn how to control aircraft. And I got the job of going with mostly the 1st Infantry as on the ground, right with the boys. We went in Normandy. It was be on the 7th of June. D-Day was the 6th. We were supposed to go in the 6th, but they were behind schedule, and we went in the next morning
I was on a liberty ship and crawled over on a rope ladder, got on a dock, and went in on the beach. And then we'll skip forward fast to the Battle of the Bulge. I was located not too far from where Dick said he was from Normandy. And they started dropping paratroopers in our area on the night of the 16th. And we had a 5-man crew. We was always by ourselves. We always tried to find a high point so we could have better radio communications. And we controlled the fighter planes and also some twin-engine bombers, the B-25, the B-26, and the fighter planes were the P-47s, P-38s, and the P-51s. And by the time the Bulge hit, we was also controlling the P-61 that was had the twin fuselage like a P-38. Well, they had better and more equipment, and we called them the night fighters. They could go out at night. By this time, the Germans had a jet plane, and our planes could not touch them. And the only way they could get to them was cut them off on an angle. So when the Bulge hit, our crew of 5 men, we didn't have much to do because our fighter planes could not get off the ground to counter the Bulge. And they could not do their job to try to help the infantry. They couldn't go to the infantry targets and bomb or strafe. And that was one of the reasons that Bulge was such a success for the Germans. I'm through.
Let me know if my picture, my camera gets in your way. No, you're not in my way.
Over here. One more chair.
One more chair. The man in the blue shirt in the way back in between heads. You need, yeah, he needs to move.
I didn't know I was so popular.
There you go. I need hey, ladies, please sit down so we don't get your hands down.
Oh, I got that blue lady. You help him, Dean. Get over there.
That right there. They should, yeah. Thank you.
Best thing is everybody move back. If you can't get them all in your picture, move back. This is the way they're going to be.
standing up giving orders still.
Do you want to start getting sit down and okay, did you get that all in, John? Is everybody's visible? Okay, everybody smile, that's the official picture.